and Tchaikovskis gets the touch there. Two very nice gentlemen indeed. And Tchaikovskis takes the 24 points there. Peter Tobolya on the left from Hungary. On the right, Ilya Frolov, 2008 world champion from Russia, and already high up on the leaderboard, having a great morning so far, the Russians. They shared the spoils a little bit, of course, between themselves, but out on the rounds, they've been picking up victory after victory. Tobolya, the Hungarians, always fired up when they're on home soil. We had 3 Hungarians in the top 6 in the women's event when it came to the riding. One of them sadly dropped away, but they did have 5 women qualify through to the finals, which was amazing considering how tough it was. Frolov came in for the attack, and Tobolya really is a massive bout, this one. And it's an important one for Maroshi, who's had some troubles in the fencing of late. He was well down in World Cup number 1. He certainly doesn't seem to be... He's qualified for the Olympics. A touch from Moisev. And a victory for the Russian. He's very pleased with that. Marosi... I was just about to say, I think Marosi's just really trying to peak for the Olympic Games. He seems to be just taking it a little bit easier earlier on in the season. On the left, Peter Tobolya of Hungary. On the right, Andrei Moisev, the double Olympic champion. Tobolya just taking the scalp of Ilya Frolov, Moisev's teammate. So a little bit of Russian revenge here. Moisev, double Olympic champion, the current world champion. Oh, amazing! Moisev can't believe that, but he really missed a chance there. He's kicking himself. Look at that face. He knows that he had the opportunity, and Tobolya just missed his. He missed the target, and Tobolya took total advantage. On the left is Adam Maroshi of Hungary, world number 2, former world number 1, multi-decorated. And on the right, it's Ilya Frolov, also multi-decorated. These two have had some male battles over the years. Oh, brilliant touch, superb fencing from Frolov. Real disappointment from Marosi there. He really is in a dark place at the moment with his fencing, and Frolov, well, he can't seem to do anything wrong. These Russians are running into form just at the right moment. So here's Hayata Noguchi on the right, and suffering a defeat there, a rare one, to Saberkasin of Kazakhstan. Sorry, I think that was Ilyushenko actually, but Noguchi has been amazing. He's only lost 2 bouts so far, and we're midway through the day, and I think that's his first one. That was Saberkasin who he beat, who he lost to, pardon me. Here's Huang versus Ilyushenko. Huang on the right from Korea, Ilyushenko on the left, and so far both mid-table. Muslim Saberkasin of Kazakhstan on the left, who had a brilliant combined event at the World Cup number 2 in Rio. Really came through the field, didn't finish in a podium position, but was high up at the end of the day. But on the right, Wu Jin Huang, Hwang Woo-jin, of course, from Korea. Attempted touch on the foot there from Hwang. Kazakhstan certainly two athletes qualifying through here. Korea has always have an interesting group of athletes. There's the double touch. But Korea had 3 athletes qualify through to the final. Oh, there's an attack from Hwang, and Rustim Saberkazin just can't believe that he allowed that to happen and he didn't deflect it away. And yeah, back to basics for him. I think that was quite a simple attack from Hwang, and at this level, you'd expect that one to be deflected and to be scored. So this is a really interesting bout here. On the right, Hayato Noguchi. On the left, Pavel Ilyushenko, and Noguchi, top of the leaderboard. We've never seen him so highly placed. He's usually in the top half of the lead. Oh, and he's got a touch there. Beautiful touch from Noguchi. And he congratulates himself, checks his blade. He's a man very confident at the moment, and he just can't seem to do anything wrong. And still top of the leaderboard. Only 3 defeats all day so far, and we're halfway through. Right, here we go. Beats Tavolia of Hungary on the left. And Denis Tchaikovskis of Latvia on the right. Then Tavolia and Tchaikovskis both doing pretty well. Tchaikovskis in 7th place at the moment. And Tavolia fencing. He's really fired up for this. Tavolia on the left. Tchaikovskis was very highly placed in the fencing in the last World Cup. Tavolia just has a little costume change to make. And here we go again. Tchaikovskis, vastly experienced athlete. He's been so many World Cups over the years and Olympic Games going back to '96. He's seen many changes in this sport. I know he's really loving the changes that are happening. Oh, a touch from the Tavolia on the top of the wrist or the arm, was it? A shake of the hands, and well, that was just good fencing, and Tavolia is on fire at the moment. So here we go. On the left, Adam Morosi on the right. Morosi from Hungary, of course, in the area number 1. On the right, Justinas Kindris of Lithuania. Morosi has his qualification ticket for London 2012 Olympic Games. Kindris does not as yet. So he's scrapping and trying to fight for world ranking points wherever he can. Currently, Morosi is in 14th place in the fencing, and Kindris down in 26th. So it's not a good day at all for Kindris as yet. This is his weakest event for sure. Nice green trainers there from Kindris. Not your typical fencing attire for sure. Oh, touch over the top from Morosi. And Kindris came in, but Morosi saw it coming and reached over the top, and a beautiful little manoeuvre. Peter Tavolia of Hungary on the left, currently 2nd on the leaderboard. On the right, Justinas Kindris, and these two have got a bit of form. Tavolia flies off the edge of the piste. On a raised piste here, so the guys have to be careful if they disembark. And here we go again. Tavolia having the tournaments of his life here. He's had some real troubles, even just getting through to finals of late. Well, did get through to the final in Brazil. Finished in a lowly position in the final there, but this is an incredible start for him. It really is quite phenomenal to see. So highly placed in the fencing, not an event that he would normally Just the leaderboard has changed. He's now gone equal first. So he's still accumulating victories. He's got 16 victories alongside Nicola Benedetti, who is another man who usually is in the bottom 3 or 4 in the fencing. And here today is quite incredible. Oh, Tabolya just cannot do anything wrong. Kinderis looks around. He wants to take it out on something. And yeah, as Tabolya says, well, sorry, mate. Today's my day. Every dog is his day, as they say. And Peter Tabolya is certainly having his. 2 vastly experienced athletes here in the Modern Pentathlon World Cup Series. On the left, it's Adam Maroshi, former world #1, multi-decorated, many gold medals to his name. On the right, Denis Tchaikovskis, been on the tour a long, long time, and is always a difficult man to beat. And a great flesh attack from Tchaikovskis. He takes the victory, 24 points to him, and he's pretty happy with that, isn't he? Yes, little wink for one of his colleagues who saw him do that manoeuvre, and Tchaikovskis moves on up the leaderboard. So here we go, on the left, Yasser Hefni of Egypt, currently in 14th place. And on the right, Arthur Lanigan O'Keefe of Ireland, who's doing really well. He's in 6th place at the moment. Hefni with the red mask. And Lanigan O'Keefe really come into some form of late. And him and Benedetti, well, a year ago, you would probably said they'd have been in the last 2 or 3 places. And here they are. They're both actually high up the leaderboard, totally. This is a good bout. This is good fencing. 10 seconds to go. Hefni makes an attack. Oh, great foul! Brilliant fencing for both athletes. And Hefni gets the touch. Lanigan O'Keefe is very disappointed. And yeah, he's a little bit sick there because he felt he had the opportunity. 24 points has gone away. So here we go, on the left, Mikhail Prokopenko of Belarus. On the right, Nicola Benedetti of Italy. Incredibly, is in joint lead on the leaderboard, and we've only got 4 or 5 rounds to go. Benedetti has pulled out the most amazing of fencing performances. This man has finished low down on fencing competitions many times. I think in the last World Cup he was second bottom, and he got a foot touch there. Absolutely incredible. Benedetti, yet again, pulls one out of the hat. And Prokopenko, he's not having a bad event himself. He's in 5th or 6th place, gets consoled there by Hefni. But look at Benedetti. He's having a great time with it at the moment. That was really a double pointer there. Prokopenko takes defeat, and Benedetti another win. Yes, he looks upwards like he's spanking his lucky stars. Everything's going right for him. Here we go, Benedetti on the right from Italy. Current competition leader on the left, Yasser Hefni of Egypt. And Benedetti finished in 18th place in the fencing in the last World Cup, mid-table. Here he is, really seen him high up on the leaderboard at all, and here he is right at the top. This is a really big performance from the tall Italian. 6'5", the tallest athletes on the tour. Yasser Hefni, the only Egyptian to have made it through to the final here. The 2 El Jaziri brothers failed to qualify. 10 seconds to go. Somebody's going to have to make a move soon. Benedetti started to attack. The onus is on him. Oh. Wow. You could say he's a little bit excited. He's still cheering. Well, he gets a prize for the best celebration after a fencing victory, and he also gets another 24 points. Here we go, on the left, Mikhail Prokopenko of Belarus, who's in 6th place at the moment on the leaderboard, and on the right, Arthur Lanigan O'Keefe, who's 5th, so a real top of the table clash between these two. Real double points Either of them could walk away with 24 points. Double hit there. Lanigan O'Keefe really has come from nowhere, and he's really having superb performance with all the big guns. See, he's making a move. Lanigan O'Keefe has obviously got a little tactic here. He's dropping back. He's as if he's on the defensive, and then he shoots forward, trying to surprise his opponent. Looks like Prokopenko's got to grip with this manoeuvre though, and now does Lanigan O'Keefe have a plan B? This is the fascinating thing about this sport. We're only 30 seconds into a 1 minute bout, and of course with normal fencing events you can fight going up to 20, 30, 40 points hits. Here it's one hit, but still there's tactics in it. Lanigan O'Keefe has already shown his hand, and the question is, does he have an alternative? Prokopenko's now ready for Lanigan O'Keefe with what he's doing. Will he? See, he's defending that easily now. That's not a surprise to him, but he's still... Yes, there you go, he got it. Now that's the sort of tactics that I think most people watching in the crowd wouldn't actually really appreciate, but Prokopenko got his number, could see what was happening, and then came in with just a wrist touch, and that was really a great way to finish off that bout. Not good for Lanigan O'Keefe, of course. So on the left is Remigius Golis, Poland, who's having a tough time of it out there. On the right is Arthur Lanigan O'Keefe, who's currently in 5th place. Oh, an attack, and O'Keefe gets it. Hurts his ankle a little bit in the process. And yes, he had a little pull there. That's, we do get the odd injury sometimes with fencing, which can be a little bit awkward. Lanigan O'Keefe, yeah, he's definitely feeling something, isn't he, there? He may have got 24 points, but he may also have got something that he didn't really want out of that bout. On the left is Ismael Hernandez of Mexico, in a lowly position on the leaderboard, down in the late 20s. On the right is somebody who's right at the very top. He's having a really amazing performance. Nicola Benedetti of Italy. He's well, a wrist touch from nowhere, and Benedetti is just on fire. He can't do anything wrong. Unbelievable performance from the Italian, and he's just picking up points. Yeah, quickly. Well, unfortunately, we seem to have got a pretty bad injury out here. Whoops. Well, back to our main piece, and Benedetti against Remigius Golis. Benedetti, these are two of the tallest athletes on the tour. There's an attack from Golis, and Golis gets the points. Golis gets the victory over Benedetti, who's not too happy with it, but Benedetti's saying, was he past me? I don't think he was. Golis is having a laugh. Golis thinks that's quite funny. Benedetti realises he was trying it on. He's Italian after all, he likes to try it on now and then. And yeah, that victory is not yours, Mr. Benedetti. You've had a bit of luck today. Meanwhile, the person we were just seeing I believe, was Hwang of Korea, who was being carried off, and he looked in real pain there. I'm not sure exactly what the issue was, but he really wasn't a very happy bunny at all, was it? Try and find out what happened there, but Huang looks as if he's left the competition. So on the left, Ismael Hernandez of Mexico. On the right is Arthur Lanigan O'Keefe, who got himself a little injury on the last time out, and he's looking a little bit more tentative here. So I'm just wondering if he has just pulled something. We'll find out later on in the day for sure. People picking up injuries at the fencing. There's a lot more sport to be played, and for sure. Oh, well, O'Keefe on the defensive. Got the victory. I think the official's not giving it. O'Keefe's not happy here at all. Well, they're having an interesting discussion. O'Keefe said, well, I defended that, I touched him. The referee's having none of it, so off we go again. Halfway through, 30 seconds to go. Arthur Lanigan O'Keefe on the right, Hernandez, Ismael Hernandez of Mexico on the left. Last 10 seconds, need to do something quickly, and O'Keefe missed an open target. You can fair to say, won't be happy at all with that. And Hernandez, who hasn't had many victories today, has just beaten the man who's 5th place on the leaderboard. That's sometimes how random this sport can be. Well, there are people still playing all out. If we pan left on our camera, we can see there's lots more action going on all the other pieces around here. And we've come towards the end of our coverage here. We're going to sign off. I hope you've enjoyed this coverage. And all the athletes will be getting ready now to move on to the swimming event. This is heat number 1 out of 5 here at the World Cup number 3 stop in Százhalombatta, Budapest, Hungary. In lane 1, closest to the camera, is Delf Bormann of Germany. In 2, Marin Holist of France. In 3, Mako Sedlecki of the Czech Republic. In 4, Mikhail Prokopenko of Belarus. In 5, Rustim Saburkasin of Kazakhstan. In 6, Stefan Kohner of Germany. And in 7, the tall Nicola Benedetti from Italy. Well, turning first at the moment, lane 4 is Mikhail Prokopenko, who finished 3rd in the fencing. So he'll be looking to get the fastest time possible. But remember, this is heat 1. These are the slowest swimmers in the competition. So there'll be plenty of faster times here as we progress through the swimming heats. Prokopenko maintains his lead. Also keep an eye out for Nicola Benedetti at the top of the screen. Had the fencing competition of his life today. Finished in 3rd, the highest we've ever seen him before. He's usually one of the slowest swimmers in the competition now, which will drop him back down. But watch out for this man later on, because he's one of the fastest runners. He's usually 1st or 2nd, alongside his Italian teammate Riccardo De Luca. So there's a name for later on in the day. But it's Prokopenko who's really putting in the burners here on the 3rd leg. It's a 25-metre pool, so it's 8 lengths of this pool to make the 200-metre freestyle. Prokopenko has a 1-length lead over Saburkasin of Kazakhstan, and lane 3, Sedlecki of the Czech Republic just behind. The others are dropping away quite badly now. As Prokopenko comes in now, it's the last 50 metres, so it's just one more turn to come at the far end. Prokopenko has a good 1-length lead over Saburkasin, with Sedlecki of the Czech Republic in 3rd, and Stefan Kohner up in lane 6 starting to make a late move. He's in 4th place. Prokopenko's led from the start here. Mikhail Prokopenko is going to win comfortably here. He's got a full length lead up shouted on by his wife Anastasia. Prokopenko wins this one, and a good length up on Sedlecki with Saberkasine in third. 6:41 there for Prokopenko. He shakes his head. He'd liked it to have been a little faster, and that's heat number 1 complete. This is heat number 2 out of 5 here at the World Cup stop number 3 in Százhalombatta, Budapest. In lane 1, closest to the camera, Yasser Hefni of Egypt. In 2, Peter Tobolya of Hungary. In 3, Denis Kurkovskis of Latvia. In 4, Christophe Pate of France. In 5, there is nobody in block 5. Stefan Gebhardt obviously has had to withdraw injured. In 6, Riccardo De Luca of Italy. And in 7, Alexander Nobis of Germany. Well, it looks like, I think lane 2 seems to be doing really well early on. Peter Tobolya of Hungary, and he had the most amazing performance in the fencing. He actually won the fencing competition. Superb performance from Tobolya. It's the first time I've seen him win the fencing, certainly in the last 4 or 5 years. And the Hungarians always do well on home soil. And here he is again, swimming above his seeding already. This is the heat number 2. This is the halfway mark. And it looks like lane 4 seems to have just made a move there. So lane 4, Christophe Pate of France gets a slight lead up on Tobolya. And 6, Riccardo De Luca, the fast-running Italian who's always at the top of the leaderboard when it comes to the combined event. Wasn't so good in the fencing earlier today and really needs a best swim possible to make up the points. Lane 4 starting to move away. Tobolya getting some cheers from the crowd here in Hungary. His local crowd, people are calling Peter. It's Pate of France who turns first. He looks to have got this one in the bag. He's got a 1-length lead up over Tobolya. And then in lane 6, Riccardo De Luca. And lane 3 as well, Denis Tchaikovskis, a very experienced Latvian who's been around a long, long time, looking to make what would be his 4th Olympic Games, is making a move here. Tchaikovskis trying hard, but it's Pate who's going to win this easily as they come into the final 25, the final 10 now. Pate was going to easily take this. Tobolya's putting in a big sprint now on the final push. Tobolya looks if he takes second as a real good sprint as well from Riccardo De Luca. Those guys have a bit of energy left in the tank as they came in. And so it's lane 4, 2:04.22 was the winning time there. And Tobolya a 2:05.11. And that's heat number 2. Here we go for heat number 3 out of 5 at the World Cup number 3 stop in Százhalombatta, Budapest, Hungary. In lane 1, closest to the camera, Dmitry Meliak of Belarus. In 2, the 2008 world champion and winner of World Cup number 1, Ilya Frolov of Russia. In 3, Justinas Kindris of Lithuania. In 4, Ismail Hernandez of Mexico. In 5, Alexander Lesson of Russia, the world number 1 and World Cup number 2 winner here in Rio de Janeiro. In 6, Stanislav Zuraliu of Belarus. And in 7, Pavel Ilyashenko of Kazakhstan. Justinas Kindris in lane 3 is going to be going all out. He's one of the athletes, one of the top stars of the sport, who has not made it through to Olympic qualification as yet. And there are 3 places up for grabs at the World Championships. There will also be places based on world rankings. So every position counts for Justinas Kindris. And he's worked to script there because he's turning first with a half a length lead over lane 2. Ilya Frolov, the 2008 world champion. He finished 7th in his fencing. So he had a great fencing performance. And up in, I think that's lane 5, Alexander Lesson, who won World Cup number 2. So the 2 World Cup winners from the 2012 World Cup Series are both here in the same race in lanes 2 and 5. Kindris still looking good. He's extended his lead. It's a length and a half now already. And in fact, Lesson's made a good turn. Lesson's pulled back a length there with an incredible turn. And he's really after Kindris now. Lesson with the blue cap up in lane 5. And I'm just having a look to see if he can turn as well again, because he seems to have got these turns to a T. He has done. He's brought the actual race level. So his turns are doing something incredible for him, which is pretty handy in a 25-metre pool, that's for sure. More turns in a 25-metre pool, 8 lengths of this course. And Lesson just takes it. A great few turns there from Alexander Lesson. And lane 5 wins with a time of 2 minutes, 0.85. With Kinderis in second, 2:01.14. But Alexander Lesson, World Cup number 2 winner. He finished 8th in the fencing. And a win here in heat number 3 will certainly thrill him. This is heat number 4 out of 5 here at the World Cup number 3 stop. Százhalombatta, Budapest in Hungary. This is the penultimate heat. In lane 1, closest to the camera, David Svoboda of the Czech Republic, former European champion. In 2, Sam Wheel of Great Britain. No lane 3 with Hong Jin-woo of Korea receiving a nasty injury in the fencing. 4, Jean-Max Barou of France. In 5, double Olympic champion Andrei Moiseev. In 6, it's Hwang Woo-jin of Korea. And in 7 at the top of the screen, Gergely Demeter of Hungary. Brother of Bent Demeter, who we're used to seeing more often. But Gergely here is doing very well, and he's also swimming very well. He's currently leading out in the outside lane. So by seeding, he's the slowest swimmer here in this actual heat. But he's doing well here as they come up to the halfway mark. And David Svoboda in lane 1 finished 9th in the fencing. He's the reigning Hungarian World Cup champion. So keep an eye out for him. And he's also somebody who's not yet sealed his Olympic qualification spot. That's David Svoboda in lane 1. Sam Wheel finished 15th in the fencing. He's in lane 2. Svoboda was 9th in the fencing. And Moiseev up in lane 5. What an incredible athlete. The double Olympic champion, the reigning world champion and reigning European champion. What amazing return to form from Svoboda, excuse me. Lane 6 has had an incredible run there. Lane 6, Hwang Woo-jin of Korea, has suddenly come from nowhere. Had an incredible run there. And Hwang Woo-jin just putting on the pressure incredibly. He's got a length up already from nowhere. He was certainly saving a lot left in the tank, wasn't he? As Hwang Woo-jin moves away. Lane 5, Moisev's putting in the pressure. Moisev's up to second, and he's starting to turn on Hwang, but I think Hwang's got too much away. Hwang is going to win this, but Moisev, a good performance there. He's beaten some good swimmers. And the man who finished first in the fencing in lane 5, he's got a good time there. The winning time, 1:58.73. And Moisev in lane 5 getting a 1:59.81. And he'll be happy. He's very likely to be leading going into the riding event. This is heat number 5, the final heat. All the fastest swimmers of the competition are here. In lane 1, closest to the screen, Hayato Noguchi of Japan. In 2, Sergei Karyakin of Russia. In 3, Jung Jin-hwa of Korea. In 4, Remy Golis of Poland. In 5, James Cook of Great Britain. In 6, Adam Maroshi of Hungary. In 7, Pierpaolo Petroni of Italy. And in 8, Arthur Lanigan O'Keefe of Ireland. Golis and Cook are going to have a personal battle here. These two are by far the strongest swimmers in this competition. And Golis beat Cook in qualifying. And Cook said it at the time he was a little bit disturbed by it because he thought he was top of the tree. And, of course, Cook has recently broken world records in both the 25 and 50-metre pool. Here they are at the halfway stage. And Cook, you just feels holding back a little bit. Quite a long, slow stroke rate there. So a little bit to come yet from Cook, who's keeping an eye on Golis. Those two are going to push each other hard. And Golis starting to push away now. Big, strong Golis is about 6'3". He's an enormous guy. And he's really powering through this water. And those two are going to have a battle. They finished low down in the fencing, so they need the fastest time possible. Golis was 30th. Cook was 33rd. So the world junior champion Cook needs to try and do the best he can. We're coming into the final 50 now. In fact, Noguchi in lane 1 finished 3rd in the fencing, and Petroni and Lanigan O'Keefe in lane 7 and 8 at the top of the screen. They were 9th in the fencing, but they're well down here because we're coming into the final 25. Golis has led all the way, but let's see what Cook's got left in the tank now as Cook and Golis put in a big sprint. These two are miles away from the rest of the field. It's going to be a very fast time as well. Cook is pushing on Golis. Cook is putting in a big sprint here. Can he take it on the line? Oh, Golis, I think, just takes it. Really fast time, 1:50.105. What a time from Golis, and 1:51.14 from Cook. Those are great times. I'm just going to record a little bit of this. So welcome back live, and we're here for the riding event. You've just seen highlights, and in fact we're not going to hold up any longer because we've already got somebody out in the field. Pavel Ilyashenko is competing. And Ilyashenko here. Just had a little look down. I think he's lost a stirrup there. We're into the top 17. And if you joined us earlier, you'll realise that we've had 2 dropouts. We've lost Stefan Gebhardt and Hong of Korea, both at the fencing. Ooh, that one rattled, and that was destroyed. Well, that was an interesting take over the double. Only 20 points. I think actually one came down there, so I think there was 2 came down. So in the end, it was 40 points. And Ilyashenko just in 18th place now, just drops below Jung, who had a clear round, and we've only seen a couple of clear rounds. And 80 points in total there for Ilyashenko. And there was a time penalty as well, 84 in total, so he just drops another place on the leaderboard. 1 more second down, so you can see he's level with Stefan Kolner going into the combined event. So for those of you who aren't used to this leaderboard, what we've done is we've given everybody 1,200 points, so you can see exactly how they would be placed if everybody got clear rounds, and then of course that never is the case, and some people do better than others. We've not seen many clear rounds. That was 80 penalty points. Jungjin Hwa of Korea had one, and just looking a little bit further back, we've had the other Korean, Hwang Jin. He had a bit of a nightmare out there, 144 penalty points. Dmitry Meliak, who already was in last place, went even further behind. Had a nasty little fall. Justinas Kindris, who would have possibly, he was the 11th man out, so he was in 25th place going in, and he, 23rd, because we've had 2 dropouts, but he had 100 penalty points, so drops further down the field. And here's Christophe Paté of France. Now, I've already seen 20 penalty points there, and I've got a feeling there's been an incident in the warm-up area, which you can just see behind. There's a white horse in the warm-up area, and it is possible you can come into the ride with penalty points against your name. Now, Christophe Paté is obviously not a very experienced horseman. He was not even looking at the fence there. A horse just took it down. It's almost as if he's a little bit on autopilot here. You can see the next riders coming up. Sunwheel up next, followed by Zivaliu, Morosius, Svoboda. So those are the next 4 athletes due to come up. And you can see the time there that they are behind Moisev, who's the leader. How many times have we said that recently? It's been incredible, the comeback this man has had. Here's the triple, and safely done for Paté. So just the 2 fences down. I think, that was very close, but just manages it. And here's fence number 12, and clears out. So just the 40 penalty points there for Paté. And I think he'll be relatively happy with that. So he is a fast man over the ground. So it could be interesting to see how things turn out a little bit later on. Christophe Patet of France. Maureen Hollister of France had a clear round earlier on today. I'm just looking through the list. I think I've given you a few of the major highlights. James Cook, who went into the event in 21st place, had 52 penalty points, 2 fences down and some time penalties. Was on a bit of a slow horse going around there. Didn't want to shake the boat too much. James, World Junior Champion. We're going to see a lot more of this kid to come. Again, he had another torrid time in the fencing. And he really does have a lot to learn in that respect. So here's the other British athlete, Sam Wheel. And this is a big round for him, as Nick Woodbridge has really made a statement of intent with 3 superb positions in Rio de Janeiro, in Charlotte, in World Cups 1 and 2, and also, of course, the World Cup final where he finished 3rd in London. Oh, Sam's taking his time here. It's just these riders, the British riders, are always very good on the horses. It's a tight course in terms of time penalties, so don't be surprised if there's an odd time penalty here, but I think the athletes do tend to lean on the fact that they'd rather not upset their horse and accumulate lots of penalties for the sake of maybe 3 or 4 seconds time penalties later on. So if the horse is comfortable, which seems to be at the moment, then why should Sam upset the status quo? But Sam does have a big job here to there's 3 British athletes looking for 2 places on the podium. There's the first fence down. Here's the double, and finally fence number 12. He's going to be thrilled with that. He'll be happy. Just the one fence, and we'll keep an eye out on penalties, time penalties. I'm pretty sure there would be a few in there. Just wait for the official judgment. 2 seconds over, so not too bad at all. 28 penalty points in total, and Sam Wheel, worst case scenario, he'll start 53 seconds behind the leader.
Interfere with the horses once they're on a good rhythm. You know, you've only got 20 minutes to warm it up. All you can really do is to get in the way of the horse, and he's just sitting quietly and letting the horse take him round. Light hands, it's a good ride.
Well, he was certainly wary. I did. Oh, there's the first one down. You know, well down the field, and he just said, "Well, ask me after the riding."
Yeah, well, I think he's riding this horse well. He just dived around that corner, didn't he, into the wall, and another bad turn there, but he's got away with it. But otherwise, he's been quite light in front of the fences and letting the horse do its job.
Well done, Nicola Benedetti. This really is going to throw the cat amongst the pigeons, because Benedetti is going to start at worst case scenario 42 seconds behind, and this man is absolutely electric when it comes to the combined. Well, we have seen him on the podium before. I remember at Millfield a little while ago, he had a race with Sam Wheel and just got over the line to take silver.
Yeah.
But he is going to be very interesting to see, isn't he?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see how he goes. If he goes out in a medal position, running onto the range, the medal position is slightly different, isn't it? So we'll see whether he goes out in front or in one of those top positions and see how he goes there. But very good ride. He's put himself in a great position. I thought it was a nicely judged round.
So just the 20 penalty points, and the demons of the riding for Nicola Benedetti did not appear. And with the strong fence, it is quite interesting actually for Benedetti to be in this position, because if you were to go through his events, and a lot of the athletes, they are very good in all the events. Benedetti has not been particularly sparkling in the fencing in the past. His swimming, he's one of the worst swimmers out there. He's not the best rider, but here he is. He's actually got 2 bad events out the way, and now his best event by far to come is the combined.
Yeah, he's a good competitor, and in our sport, you've just got to keep going. Take every event.
Well, here we go, and this is an interesting one because this man's not too slow either. He's won a world championship with his speed and took the silver medal at World Cup number 2 again from way down the field. He was 17th coming into the combined at World Cup number 2. Sergei Karyakin now. He's riding is probably, you would say, his worst event, because he's not great with the fencing, but he's not very happy with the riding, Karyakin.
Yeah, he's still relatively young athlete, isn't he? So, experience counts. But he's not doing badly here.
No, absolutely. As Kate Allenby would say, he's wearing white gloves. He's very brave.
Yeah.
I always remember that. Hi, Kate, if you're watching.
Red coat and white gloves, yeah. But no, he's paced this quite nicely, and again, he's got the horse going forward nicely. I mean, they are forward-going horses, these Hungarian horses, and I think generally they've gone better today than they went yesterday. And the men have on the whole, have ridden pretty well.
Yeah, absolutely. Just rattled that third, but the triple, but he got away with it. And this could be a clear round for Karyakin, and we really are going to have a race on here.
Well, yeah, he's no slouch on the combined either, so very good ride. Just the last one, yeah. There you go.
The head goes up from Karyakin. He can't believe it. He did what Murray Spence did yesterday, and he just relaxed a little bit, thought he'd got a clear round, and looked back and couldn't believe the fence was down. And I'm sure Mr. Kaplanov will be having a few words with him afterwards.
Yeah, classic case of just allowing the fence to come to you and not seeing yourself over it before you get to it. Nice round.
Yeah, absolutely. He did well. And I think, it's really interesting. I don't know if you found the same, Dominic, but I actually, from season to season, it's really interesting to see what the athletes have been working on during the winter. And, we've seen Cluvel come to the form where she's obviously been doing nothing but fencing, and also she's worked on her running as well. And Karyakin, I think he's worked on his riding. He's riding better there than I've seen him ride before.
Yeah, I thought he rode well, and as you say, each athlete reviews the season, and you've got to pick out where you spend your time, haven't you? You're balancing your time over 5 different events. So no, it's a good round.
Well, there's a leaderboard just for you to see how people have done. So if you want to have a quick nosy to run down that list. Always interesting. Dimitri Meliat didn't have a very good start. He was already in last place coming into it, and he had a nasty fall, so didn't get the competition off to a good start at all. Well, we really are going to have a very interesting combined event. I'm excited already because Benedetti and Karyakin within 30-40 seconds are going to be dangerous, and this man has been amazing. Arthur Lanigan O'Keefe.
Yeah, he's got the horse going quite forward. Got to balance him on the corners, otherwise he'll come unstuck. Just a bit on the forehand there. If he can just balance this horse and get it jumping clean.
There's another one down. Oh,
yeah, completely wrong at that. Just not quite in sympathy with this horse yet.
No. Yeah, it's one of those. These two aren't in harmony at all, are they? This is a struggle.
And they're not on any kind of decent rhythm here, and just kicking these poles out.
Yeah. Well, he's already a minute behind. He's dropped 100 penalty points. In fact, he's below people now who actually started in the first round. So
yeah, that's a shame.
Not a good ride at all for Lanigan O'Keefe. He's dropped down to 16th position already, and well, he won't go any lower. Could if we have a few more bad rides, he could raise, but that ride has really hurt him hard, hasn't it?
Yeah, it has, and well, we'll see what he does in the combine. But a top 10 finish was on the cards for him today, so I think he'll be a bit disappointed with that ride.
And a lot of these replays, you're seeing the same thing again and again. Is the rider making the mistake? The horse is to the fence when it's jumping.
Yeah, he's not balanced coming around the corner and just running in on the forend a bit and just kicking these poles out in front. Just not a good rhythm.
Yeah. Well, no look of the Irish there for Arthur Lanigan O'Keefe as he drops a minute behind now. And, I think the chance of a podium was there with a clear round, but a chance of a podium now, because he's certainly not the fastest man over the combined event. And but he'll still be really happy. He'll still be so pleased that he's put himself into that position. And, you know, the ride is one of those weird events, isn't it? One day you can have a clear, the next day you can shed 500 points.
And it's just fantastic what Lindsay Weeden and everyone at Pentathlon Ireland have done in the last few years. Fantastic to see these Irish athletes competing at this top level. Fantastic.
Yeah. They've absolutely come from nowhere. It's amazing. And they've really got their act together. And, you know, they're competing with the big boys. You don't get any higher level than this international level here with Olympic and world champions all around the field. And here's Pierpaolo Petroni of Italy. So he's 32 seconds behind Moiseev coming into the ride. Now, interesting to see how this goes. It's obviously been a good day for Italy with Benedetti. De Luca medalled in the World Cup #2 last month.
Yeah, these Italian athletes have the kind of advantage of being carabinieri, so they get to ride a lot of different horses in their job, and he started okay.
Yep. I never knew that. Thank you for educating me there.
Yes, fantastic tradition in Italy, the Carabinieri and Pentathlon, and these guys continuing that tradition. And he's doing a good job. He's just managing to balance him, and the horse is also helping him out, jumping cleanly. Bit wide there at that turn, but got it back to the centre of the fence. Yeah, just too wide coming in, just unsettled him. Yeah, and now he's got,
that one was all wrong.
Yeah, all wrong at that.
The director got it wrong, and also the horseman did as well.
He's got it back a bit there through that double, and he's finished okay.
Well, Petroni just two fences down, a path for the horse. He will be 9th place. He's level with Benedetti, so 42 seconds behind each. So they're equal 9th at worst. May go higher depending on what else happens coming up. And
yeah, I think it'd be a bit frustrated with that ride because halfway through he was riding really nicely, and he just got wide, didn't he? Coming in that combination here, and as a result had the middle down, and then got completely wrong at the next fence, and just got it back towards the end.
Well, I hope you're enjoying the coverage here on pentathlon.org. We're live on YouTube. Chance to have a little look. You can see the five athletes who all got clears. None of them are going to be threatening the medals by the end of the day, he says confidently. I'm the man who wrote Sam Murray off after she shed 100 points in the riding. Look what she did yesterday. 20th to 4th was absolutely unbelievable, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a fantastic day, wasn't it? Really brilliant final event, wasn't it, for the competition yesterday?
Oh, it's superb. Well, I watched it again last night. It was 11:30 in my hotel room, but I had to watch it again. And I got very excited because Sam Murray just clocked a 9.5 second shoot and got away. And I was watching all the others further up the field, and this flash of light came from behind. Now, here's a man who's going to be very happy. Congratulations, Alexander Lesson. Became a father last night. He may be a little bit bleary-eyed today. He didn't have the best fence in the world, but he's still up there. And you can now see the top of the leaderboard. So those are the top 8 as it stands. And Lesson will be very happy with life, won't he now?
Yeah, whatever happens here, he's got reason to celebrate, hasn't he?
Yeah, absolutely.
Not always his favourite event, the riding. So we'll see how he goes. He's started all right.
He openly admits he just wants to get the riding out of the way. Even when he won World Cup #2 by an absolute mile last month, he said in the interview afterwards, just wanted to get the riding done. As soon as that's done, I knew I was okay.
Yeah, he's just hanging on to his mouth a bit. Horse trying to free his head. As long as he gives with his hands, coming into the fence, and the horse will jump. But horse is trying for him, and he's doing okay.
He certainly is. This is going well for Lesson. You wouldn't say he's a bad rider for sure. He's probably just needs a few more years of practice, really. It's a bit like the fencing, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, our riding can make a fool of anyone, we all know that. But he's just started to fiddle with him a bit in those last two fences and taking poles down now.
Oh no. That's terrible. I think there were 4 fences in a row there.
Yeah, just got a bit anxious towards the end. Instead of letting the fences come to him, just pressing on a bit. Maybe a little bit of overriding coming to those last few fences and kicking the poles out as a result.
That may well have cost Lesson. I'm going to do a Sam Murray here, but that may well have cost Lesson a podium finish.
Yeah, all of a sudden 100 points looks expensive, doesn't it? Yeah,
absolutely. 56 seconds behind. And, interestingly, Sam Wheel is above Lesson now, which, this is what I love about this table. You can see exactly, who's doing what and where people have moved down to. And we've got Christophe Paté of France, who started way down the field, had a clear round, and he's right in it now.
Yeah, all the French guys rode well today, didn't they?
Yeah. Yep, certainly did. So, Alexander Lesson, well, as Dominic said earlier, there's no doubt about it, he's going to be thrilled. He's a father. He'll be getting home as soon as he can on that early morning flight in the morning. And you wouldn't discount him from a medal, but there are so many fast athletes around. It would be hard to think of Lesson being able to overtake them, wouldn't it? And here's an interesting athlete, Mikhail Prokopenko of Belarus.
He's done well, hasn't he, today? And kind of puts the horse in between the fences a bit.
His wife Anastasia is watching very keenly on the sidelines here. Mikhail Prokopenko, just a 2 down so far. That's a massive jump over there.
Practically lifted the horse over himself, didn't he? But the horse will jump. This horse can jump. And if he just balances him, doesn't get too close to the fences, he'll be okay. Okay, a bit deep into that first one, kicked out the centre pole.
Just 5 more athletes to go after this. And 1 more fence for Prokopenko. Nicely done. Well,
yeah, it's okay. It's okay for him, isn't it?
Yep, yeah. Damage limitation there. It could have been a lot worse. 2 early fences down. The writing was on the wall that could have been a 3-figure. And he might shake his head, but I think if he looks back on that in the cold light today, he'll actually think, yeah, he's still shaking. He's still going through his head maybe one of the fences that he should have done better. But,
yeah.
He's only 42 seconds behind. He's equal 7th with 2 other athletes, Petroni and Benedetti. So we're going to have 3 athletes going off together. That should be interesting to watch on the starting line.
Yeah, I mean, no one wants to have fences down, but this horse tried for him. So he shouldn't be too disappointed with it.
Yeah. So we've got Kariak in 41 seconds. We've got 3 athletes on 42 seconds. So it's going to be elbows galore on that start line. In about an hour's time, I think we're going to be starting to combine. We're always official times posted, but in the long tradition of pentathlon, we don't always stick to them, of course. There's always a few little niggles here and there. And here's a man who's a very interesting personality, Denis Tchaikovskis of Latvia. And I think somebody was saying to me that he, in terms of Olympic Games, he goes back to 96. He's been around a long time. Yeah,
really nice guy, Dennis, and a very articulate, very intelligent guy, and a very good pentathlete.
Absolutely.
Good to still see him really competitive. He's doing well.
Yeah, and you've got to think this is probably going to be his final year of competition. He's making the big effort for the 2012 Games in London.
Yeah, interesting line he took over that second fence.
Yeah.
I'm not sure I would have advised it, but he got away with it. And...
yeah,
just letting the horse run on a bit there. He needs to balance it on the corners if he's not going to have all these fences down.
Yeah, I think you highlighted that early on, didn't you? He may not be in full control of the horse here, and that's going to only have one outcome.
Yeah, they like to stick their heads up, these horses, but they will jump. They're forward going and they will jump. And if he can just get this horse balanced, then it'll jump.
Oh, just a touch on the second there. That was unfortunate. Three fences down. Here comes a double.
Yeah, it was better coming in. Not so deep on the way in. Just one to go.
And clears that one. And Tchaikovskis, well, he's remained in 5th place. So even though he had 3 fences down, and that's, of course, the equivalent of 15 seconds, there was a fair little gap. As you can see, the top of the board is quite stretched out now. And Tchaikovskis is leading this little pack that's just below with athletes on 41, 42 seconds. And 4 athletes to go. We haven't seen many clear rounds, so I think it's fair to say that, to assume that we are going to see a couple more penalty points perhaps coming later on. 4 more athletes to go. Dominic, just while watching this, I've got to have a mention. London 2012 Olympics are must be really fantastic. Looking forward to it. There you go. Open question. Are you looking forward to the Olympics in London?
Yeah, I mean, and all the preparations are so well advanced. Lowcock done a great job. We're really looking forward to welcoming the Pentathlon world to London. A fantastic venue at Greenwich, of course. You remember it from last year.
Absolutely.
It'd be just spectacular. And, last 2 days of the Olympic Games are pentathlons.
Yeah, and the final medal is going to be a pentathlon medal. So,
yeah, all we just need to do is make sure it's the right countries that win, eh?
Yes. Well, we were talking yesterday, actually. I was talking with Eli Bramer in the commentary, and we were saying the tradition of the British women, of course, that they've medalled at every Games. And, we've got Kate Allenby, we've got Georgina Harland, and, I forgot what it could have been. But I've got to say, at the moment, we're seeing some real athletes out there, and they're all going, tough at each other. And, yesterday's competition was superb. And, of course, the Brits with 6 girls. Here we are with Ilya Frolov, 2008 world champion, winner of World Cup #1 in Charlotte, United States. And in 4th place, a very dangerous man indeed. And that was so slow up to that fence. I thought he was stopping.
Yeah, again, he's got this horse quite trussed up, got a very short rein. If you can just let it have its head to jump. It's obviously going to go forward for him.
Well, just the one down so far. Oh, no. Well, he's through it, and that's the important thing. I don't know why the bell's rung, and neither does he.
Well, it's a judgment call, isn't it? If they reckon it is actually a refusal, even if you go through the fence, they can call it a refusal.
Well, yeah, Ilya Frolov's I think he's just calling across to his coach. Now that's being given as a refusal plus a knockdown. So, well, this is really that was a very expensive fence. 60 points at that one fence.
Yeah, but you could see as the horse came in, you could see the horse was not happy and it was stopping.
Yeah.
So I guess the judges said, look, this horse is stopping.
Here we
goes
go.
Through the fence.
And this is very much like the second fence where I made the comment, the horse looked as if it was almost coming to a standstill.
Yeah.
And Ilya wasn't giving the horse a bit of a kick to get going, was he? He was letting the horse just do it itself. And
yeah, again, he's got the horse pretty tight in the rein, so he's got to let him have his head to jump the fence. Is only fair.
Well, suddenly things are. And Frolov joins everybody else on 42 seconds at the moment. So we're now going to have 4 athletes going off together. I hope we've got a very wide starting line.
Yeah, he's okay through that combination. He's a little bit unbalanced himself coming round there, but the horse is going forward and has jumped that okay.
Incredible, isn't it? Suddenly.
Well, it happens quickly, doesn't it? 1 minute you're going fine, and then you get it wrong on a corner, and well, there you go. That's expensive. And
there's the Russian coach, Mr. Kaplanov himself, saying to Mr. Lesson, new father, this is what I'd have done, and this is what Frolov should have done. And I'm not sure if Frolov's making a little point at the judges there. He certainly wasn't a very friendly gesture, I think. He wasn't happy that was called as a refusal.
Yeah, looking at the replay, actually could have gone either way, couldn't it, really?
Yeah. I've seen no's. I'm not an expert equestrian, as you may have gathered, but I've seen no's given as just, the bell hasn't gone. It truly shocked me to see the bell go. As far as I was concerned, if the horse had an attempt at jumping and it's taken half a fence down. It's tried to go over it, and that's not a refusal. But we could debate this all night. We should have a pentathlon phoning program maybe afterwards, and let's talk about that. They seem to do that with football and talk about everything about shoelaces and whatever else. But that's definitely a debating subject. There's no doubt about it. And we do have 4 men starting at the same time. So I do hope we do have a very wide starting line. 4 men on 42 seconds behind. So now we're into the top 3. And having seen Adam Morosi drop 100 points earlier on in the day, and his hopes pretty much gone, Hungary's hopes rest on one man. And Peter Tebolia, got to be honest here, has had a horrendous run of form over the last year. He really has struggled to qualify in most events. And here he is in 3rd place in this final.
Yeah, time to step up, isn't it? With the Hungarian nation watching. God, awkward jump there, wasn't it? Really awkward. But he fenced so brilliantly, didn't he, this morning, first thing, and so he got off to a good start.
He was absolutely superb.
This horse just diving to the left. He needs to keep it in the centre of the fence if he can. He's got a very awkward jump in it.
Yes. And off to the left again. Really tight. It's amazing how the Hungarians step up their performances on home soil. We had 3 women in the top 6 coming into the ride yesterday. Oh.
It looks awkward, but he's still keeping him going forward, isn't he, on a decent tempo, and awkward jump, but he is able to jump. Still going towards the left-hand side of each fence, so he's got to try and keep the horse in the centre of the fence, but he's doing a good job.
Yep, there's the double. Oh, just over. And finally.
Yeah, good job.
And there's Leila going to show you in the background. She's thrilled. She knows that Peter Tebolia is going to be there or thereabouts.
Yeah, really good job that, because, awkward looking jump of the horse. But it just goes to show, if you get into the right tempo, right rhythm with the horse, go with it, keep it going forward, the horse will do it for you. And even though he was still going, kind of skew-whiff into the fences a bit, kept it going forward.
He was getting over them. And Leila going to show you herself, she's had a bad run of form over the last year, but she seems to always manage to perform in Hungary. And, she wasn't on the medal podium, but she was up there and she was in the top 10 and giving it everything. And now Peter Tebolia himself, he's never given himself a chance of a medal. And here he is, the worst position, he's 3rd. And if you look at that board now, he's going to be 21 seconds behind the leader. And he's got an 18-second lead over the 4th place man. And the only thing that could change is positions 1 and 2 now. So that's a good position for Tebolia
really
to be in,
for
isn't
him.
it?
And of course, this proud pentathlon nation, Hungary, fantastic nation for modern pentathlon. It's really good to see one of their athletes right up there.
Yeah. Here's Hayata Noguchi. Great to see yet another country right at the top of the leaderboard. It's one of the things about pentathlon that is just so strong. You've seen so many. Look at all the flags down there. We've got 2 Italians, and there's so many different countries involved. And in Brazil, it was nine athletes from 9 different countries in the women's event. So Noguchi's over the first 2 safely. I think it's fair to say riding is not a traditional Asian event. Japanese, Koreans have had real trouble with this.
Yeah, he's doing all right here, though, isn't he? He's going with the horse, and the horse is forward going. It's helping him. If he can just keep balanced on the corners and let the horse jump the fences, then he'll do all right. And great to see the Asian nations well up here in the competition. They've done really well. Koreans as well this competition.
Yeah, and he's clear so far. This could really be a major move from him. He never got close to a podium yet, and here he is in 2nd place.
Well, they combine event well, don't they, as well? So this is looking pretty competitive.
Absolutely. This is going to be fascinating to see.
Did well there just to keep the horse out, not to cut the corner. Although he'd taken the second part of that down, but he's had a good round.
Absolutely. So just one fence down, and Noguchi, who we haven't seen that second down on the double all day, I think. That's the first time that one's come down. But Noguchi is in a strong position, and look at that board. Now, ignore Moisev at the top. He's yet to come. But Noguchi will have a 15-second lead over Tibolya. He's got a 33-second lead over Tchaikovskis. And this is very much like the women's event, actually. There's a little lead at the top, and then you've got a big bunch of athletes who are going to be all powering behind him. And, when you run on this course, it must be very strange when you turn at the top and you suddenly look down and see all these athletes powering after you.
There you go. Look at that leaderboard now. Benedetti, look at him. Okay, 40 seconds behind, but he's really strong and he's not going onto the range leading. It's different, isn't it, running onto the range in first place, or first, second, third, rather than chasing the pack. But it's going to be a great race.
Absolutely. And finally, our competition leader has a big intake of breath. You think if there's one man who can handle being in a lead, it's Mr. Moisev. And the way he won the world and European titles last year was just absolutely incredible, wasn't it?
Well, double Olympic champion, world and European champion. I mean, he joins the legends, doesn't he?
Yeah, absolute legend. And a lot of people had ridden him off a few years ago after his accident, had a collision with a car when he was in the United States training after winning the Olympic gold. And here he is, back to full form.
Yeah, just lifting his hands there, coming into that fence. Like to see them a bit quieter, but very experienced rider, very calm, and you can expect him to have a decent round.
Yep. Well, one more fence down. He'll relinquish the lead to Noguchi. And actually, the combined event is probably his weakest event, actually. He's not the fastest on the ground, but he was going. It's quite amazing. Sometimes people go a bit faster when they've got a gold medal at stake. And I remember the World Championships, he was being chased down and found speed from nowhere on the final lap.
Yeah, it really is a great competitor, this guy. He's taking this horse round okay. Even though he's got his hands, lifting his hands a bit, the horse is jumping well. And he's had a decent round.
Oh, there's a big smile on the face. Kaplanov, the coach, he looks very relaxed. Maybe it's because Lesson's become a father. He's gone on paternal on everybody, but he's usually a little bit more angrier than that. But Moisev will be very happy indeed. He leads the competition. And, Dominic, there's the top grouping. And there's a lot more just further below as well. I think Sam Wheel is well in contention here.
Yeah,
I think Sam's only about 45 seconds behind.
Yeah, it's going to be a really, really good combined event. And, no surprise to see some of those names at the top of that board. But I think it's going to be a really good opportunity for some of these athletes. Benedetti's going to be very competitive, isn't he?
Yeah.
Didn't see where David Svoboda finished in the end, but again, he could have a good competition. He combines really well. And Moisev, well, he's out in front. He likes to be out in front. What can you do with it?
Absolutely. Well, let's. This is the riding list, and this is the summary of the riding. And Dominic, great to have you on board. Thank you very much for joining us. Really great to have you.
Pleasure.
And Dominic Mahoney there, the team manager for Great Britain. Sure, you're going to go and have a few words with Sam now and wish him all the best. But great to have you on board there, and thanks for helping us out on the commentary. And this is the leaderboard as it is from the riding only. But what we are going to do with a little bit of luck is bring you the full board all the way down. So just bear with us for a second. We just need to get the information from the database. Well, there you go. So that's it in terms of points. And that's, I suppose, for want of a better word, that's what I call the old way, I think, of showing it, where we have the point totals. And, of course, we have to try and turn that into an overall leaderboard and what it means in terms of seconds at the end of all this. You can see going down the list there. Well, here we go. So this isn't in terms of seconds. I always prefer this method. And you can see Noguchi 1 second behind, Tibolya 16. Then there's a gap to Tchaikovskis. Karyakin, Prokopенко. Look how close everybody is. It looks like Benedetti took a couple of time penalties that we didn't notice on our scoring. So Benedetti will just be a little bit further behind. But that will be a very interesting race indeed. Even Frolov down there. Frolov had a bad ride, dropped 100 points, but he's still in contention, isn't he? 42 seconds behind. Still all to play for. Now, the magic number is always a minute in my mind. And where you see we go down to a minute with, and Dominic called that once for Baudry's 48 seconds. He's going to start with Sam Wheel, less than 51 seconds behind. This really is going to be very, very interesting indeed, for sure. Morosi a minute behind, probably just a little bit too far down to make anything happen, with some very, very talented athletes ahead of him, very fast athletes. Riccardo De Luca, surely he can't make it up from 22nd place. He is the fastest man in the field always, but you know, he's giving 20, 30 seconds to Benedetti, and he's certainly not 20 or 30 seconds faster than Benedetti, so it's going to be hard to see if De Luca can manage back. And there you see there's the final list. And of course, Hong and Gebhardt are not competing here, so they won't be starting 14 minutes and 46 seconds behind. So that's how we stand here. Hope you're enjoying the coverage. We're live here on pentathlon.org. You're either watching us via pentathlon.org or via YouTube live. It's great to be bringing you all the action live. And I know there's a lot of you watching this from all around the world. The eyes of the Pentathlon family are severely focused on us here. I know there's a lot of really good words spoken about Amelie Karze's comeback yesterday. Well, we've got a little break now, and for those of you who didn't get to see a little bit earlier on, we're going to show you some action from the fencing and swimming. We're probably just going to show you the fencing actually, and we'll come back with the combined event very, very shortly. And what we'll do is we'll probably put a message on screen during the replays just to say when the combined event is due to happen. At the moment, the warm-up start is due to be 5 o'clock. In half an hour's time, it's 4:30 here at the moment. And I think the race is due to start in about an hour's time. Just look at my information here in front of me. The combined event is due to start at 5:30, so in 1 hour's time. So what we're going to do is we'll show you some fencing and swimming. I hope you enjoyed this action. This is all that happened this morning. Quite a lot of action for you to see. So do enjoy it, and we'll be back shortly.